There are moments in life when something stirs within us, something ancient, something vast. It doesn't come with warning or explanation. It's like a whisper, barely audible, yet it echoes louder than the world's noise. If you're here reading this, it's likely because you felt it too. You've sensed that your life is not random, that your pain has purpose, and that you were born not to follow paths, but to forge them. This feeling that you are different, set apart, not better, but burdened with a deeper calling is the first sign. Not everyone hears it. Fewer still respond. But you're still listening. And that alone makes you rare. Because the path of the chosen one is not a reward, it's a responsibility. And it begins not in light, but in shadow. The first unmistakable sign is the experience of profound isolation even when surrounded by others. This isn't the kind of loneliness that fades with company. It's existential. It's as if your soul is searching for something that no one around you even knows is missing. You might have grown up feeling like you were watching the world from behind a glass wall, participating but not fully in it. You could sense things others couldn't. You saw through facades. You asked questions that made people uncomfortable. While the world taught obedience, you felt compelled to seek truth, no matter how uncomfortable or inconvenient it was. This isolation is not a punishment, it's a sacred preparation. The chosen are separated so that their inner voice can grow louder than the noise of conformity. When you're alone, the illusion fades and the deeper truths begin to whisper. Can you remember the first time you realized that the world wasn't what it appeared to be? Another sign is your ability to see patterns, energetic, emotional, symbolic. While others move through life reacting, you observe. You feel things before they happen. You recognize synchronicities, those strange coincidences that feel more like cosmic nudges than randomness. You've probably had moments where you knew something was about to happen, good or bad, and it did. This isn't paranoia or fantasy. This is spiritual perception, awakening. Chosen ones often experience second sight, not necessarily visions, but deeper knowing. You might see through people's masks. You might hear the truth behind their words. You might feel when something is off long before proof appears. It can be overwhelming. But this sensitivity is not weakness. It's your compass. The more you trust it, the clearer it becomes. So ask yourself, when have you ignored your inner knowing, and what did it cost you? You've likely endured a form of death without physically dying. Everything you thought you needed, people, beliefs, roles, was stripped away. Maybe it felt like betrayal, loss, or total collapse. Maybe you begged for relief and received only silence. This is the dark night of the soul. It is brutal, but it is sacred. Because what dies in that darkness is not your soul, but your illusion. The illusion of control, of identity, of comfort. And what rises in its place is something eternal. Chosen ones are forged in fire, not comfort. You are reborn not once, but many times over. Each collapse is an initiation. Each loss is a doorway. And the deeper the descent, the higher the rise. If you have faced the abyss and crawled out of it with trembling hands but burning eyes, you are not broken. You are becoming. You've probably never felt fully at home in any one belief system. You may have explored religion, spirituality, science, philosophy, and found pieces of truth in each, but never the whole. That's because your soul is older than the systems. You carry ancient memory. You resonate with symbols, archetypes, and truths that were never taught, yet feel so familiar. Perhaps you've been drawn to ancient Egypt, or the Vedas, or shamanic traditions, or perhaps you've created your own rituals, your own sacred language. This is not arrogance, it's remembrance. The chosen ones do not come to follow, they come to weave the forgotten truths back into the world. You are not meant to fit in, you are meant to remember, and in remembering awaken others. So reflect, what truths have always lived in you even before you had words to speak them? A constant theme in your life has likely been inner contradiction. You feel torn between extremes, between peace and rage, solitude and connection, compassion and discipline. One moment you are light, the next you are shadow. This is not dysfunction. This is divine integration. You are not here to suppress one side of yourself. You are here to merge opposites into wholeness. While the world divides, you unify. You understand that everything contains its opposite. That light without shadow is incomplete. That healing requires facing pain. This inner alchemy is your power. And though it may feel like chaos, it is the sacred chaos of transformation. When you stop fighting parts of yourself and instead listen to what they're teaching you, you begin to embody something few ever touch: balance, harmony. Another sign, perhaps the most startling, is the presence of unexplainable experiences. Visions, déjà vu, feeling a presence when you're alone, seeing repeating numbers, or feeling like you're being guided by something unseen. These aren't hallucinations. These are echoes of your multidimensional awareness waking up. The veil between dimensions is thinner for you. Your soul remembers its origin, and sometimes that memory leaks through. The universe communicates in symbols, signs, frequencies. And the more you pay attention, the more it speaks. Don't dismiss the unexplainable. Don't try to rationalize the miraculous. Instead, ask with reverence, what is this trying to show me? Chosen ones are not given proof, they are given mystery. Because mystery is what leads to mastery. And finally, perhaps the most haunting and beautiful sign. You feel a deep calling, but you don't know what it is yet. It lingers like a scent you can't trace. It pulls at you in dreams, in conversations, in silence. You've tried to define it, maybe you've called it your purpose, your soul mission, but it remains elusive. That's because it's not a job title. It's not a destination. It's a frequency, and you don't find it by force. You find it by becoming it. Your mission will reveal itself when you become the version of you that can carry it. Right now, your call is to clear the vessel, to heal, to listen. Follow the whispers. You don't need to know the whole path. You only need to take the next step, and then the next, because the chosen are not the ones who are sure. They are the ones who say yes, even when they're afraid, even when they don't know where it leads. You are not here to escape the world. You are here to transform it by transforming yourself. You are not here to choose light and reject darkness. You are here to stand in the center of that polarity and transcend it, to become the still point in the storm, the fire in the void, the one who remembers when others forget, the one who holds the light and the shadow in sacred union. That is what it means to be chosen. Not chosen by the universe, chosen by yourself, chosen to walk the narrow path, to burn and rise and burn again, to become the bridge between dimensions. And if you've made it this far, you already are. If you've walked through the first threshold, then you already know. Being chosen does not mean being spared from pain. In fact, it's the opposite. You've likely faced more pain, more confusion, more inner conflict than most around you. But here's the deeper truth. Pain is not the enemy. Shadow is not your opponent. The abyss is not against you. These are not forces sent to destroy you. They are the exact ingredients required to awaken your sacred power. The universe doesn't test chosen ones to break them. It tests them to reveal them. Just like fire purifies gold, your darkest moments strip away the false so that only the truth of who you are remains. You were never meant to escape your shadow. You were meant to walk into it, torch in hand, and find the treasures buried beneath centuries of fear. This is where alchemy begins, not by running from the darkness, but by learning to speak its language. Many of us have been taught that light is good and dark is bad. But spiritual maturity begins when we realize this binary is an illusion. Light isn't always kind. Sometimes it blinds. Sometimes it burns, and darkness isn't always evil. Sometimes it holds us, sometimes it conceals what we're not yet ready to face. When you're chosen to transcend, you begin to see these forces not as enemies, but as partners. The universe operates in polarities, yin and yang, inhale and exhale, creation and destruction. You, the chosen one, are the bridge between them. You are the stillness that contains both storm and silence. When you embrace this truth, you no longer fear your own shadow. You begin to understand that your rage can be sacred, that your grief can be holy, that your jealousy, your lust, your sadness, all of it is raw power, waiting to be purified and redirected. The shadow does not disappear by ignoring it. It heals when it is seen, loved, and integrated. One of the most overlooked truths for those on the path of transcendence is this: your triggers are your teachers. Every time something unsettles you, whether it's another person, a situation, or even a thought, it's not just an annoyance. It's a mirror. It's an invitation to look deeper. Why does that person bother you? Why does that moment hurt? Why does that memory still haunt you? The ego wants to blame the external. The soul knows better. The chosen one learns to pause, to breathe, and to ask, what is this showing me about me? Every trigger is a flashlight pointing to a part of you still waiting for love, still waiting to be reclaimed. And every time you choose to respond with awareness rather than reaction, you transmute pain into power. You turn poison into medicine. That is spiritual alchemy. That is the mark of one who transcends. There comes a point in your journey where you begin to feel like you're being stripped of everything. Friendships fall away. Beliefs collapse. Habits no longer serve. You feel naked, exposed, unanchored. It's terrifying, but it's also necessary, because transcendence requires emptiness before fullness. Just like a bowl must be empty to be filled, your soul must be cleared of old identities to receive the truth of who you are. This is the sacred disassembly, and it's not a loss, it's a surrender. You do not lose yourself. You lose the version of yourself that was never truly you. And what emerges from that surrender is a presence that cannot be shaken, a self that does not need validation, a truth that cannot be silenced. When you stop clinging to who you thought you were, you make space for who you really are to rise. One of the most difficult yet crucial awakenings on this path is realizing that not everyone can walk it with you. As you rise, some will resist you. As you heal, others will project their wounds onto you. You may feel guilt for outgrowing relationships. You may feel grief watching people stay in cycles you've broken free from. But understand this, your path is sacred, not superior, just different, and different is necessary. Not everyone is ready to face the abyss, but you were. Not everyone is ready to walk between worlds, but you are. So bless those who misunderstand you. Love them anyway. And remember, your role is not to convince, but to embody. You don't need to preach your transformation. Your energy will speak louder than your words ever could. There are times on this path where you will feel empty, not broken but hollow, as if you are a vessel waiting to be filled. This emptiness is not a mistake. It is preparation. It is the sacred pause between what was and what is becoming. The ego hates this stillness. It wants to rush, to fill, to fix. But the soul knows the void is the womb. From this emptiness, new frequencies are born, new visions, new missions. The chosen ones must learn to sit in the silence long enough to hear the voice beneath all voices. That voice is not loud. It is not demanding. It is the whisper you've always known. The one that says you are not alone. You are not lost. You are exactly where you're meant to be. Can you sit with yourself long enough to hear it? And then, finally, there is the realization that your wounds are not just personal, they are ancestral, collective, cosmic. The pain you feel is not just yours. It runs through your bloodline, through your DNA, through the very fabric of the human story. When you heal, you don't just heal yourself. You heal generations. You heal futures. You become the rupture in the pattern, the one who stopped the cycle, the one who chose love where there was hatred, truth where there was silence, light where there was only shadow. This is why your journey has been so intense. Because you were not sent here to live a small life. You were sent to shift timelines, to anchor higher realities, to rewrite the story. And every time you choose to show up, despite the pain, despite the fear, you fulfill a prophecy written before you were born. You are not just healing, you are remembering. There comes a moment in the journey of the chosen one when the seeking must stop, not because the answers have all been found, but because the need to know dissolves into the willingness to become. The veil of illusion begins to fall, not in some grand cosmic explosion, but in a quiet, sacred peeling away of masks. You begin to see through the games of the world, the endless striving, the comparisons, the need to prove, the dance of identity. You realize that none of it ever truly defined you. What lies beneath all of it is something so profoundly still, so deeply radiant that no label can contain it. And in that stillness, you begin to understand you are not here to perform your purpose. You are here to embody it, not someday, not when everything is perfect, but now. In every breath, in every interaction, in every silent moment of presence. To truly embody your divine mission, you must first surrender your attachment to what it should look like. The mind will try to trap your purpose in forms, titles, careers, achievements, but your mission is not a role. It's a frequency. It's the unique vibration of your soul expressing itself through the vehicle of your human life. Your mission might be to speak, to heal, to create, to disrupt, to awaken, but the how is less important than the who you are when you do it. Are you aligned? Are you listening? Are you moving from love or from fear? These are the real metrics of your mission. And the beautiful paradox is that the more you let go of trying to define your purpose, the more clearly it reveals itself, not as an idea, but as a way of being that infuses every part of your life with sacred intention. One of the most powerful realizations of the chosen one is this: you are the medicine you've been searching for. All the books, all the teachers, all the rituals were never meant to give you something you lacked. They were mirrors, pointing you back to your own knowing, your own inner divinity. This is why the path often feels so lonely, because you must walk into yourself so deeply that you become your own sanctuary, not because you've rejected others, but because you've remembered the source within. When you trust yourself in this way, you become sovereign, not above others, but rooted in your own truth. Others may still doubt you, the world may still resist you, but your compass is internal now. You walk with the quiet confidence of someone who knows, I do not need to be understood to be true. I do not need to be seen to be real. Embodying your divine mission also means embracing service not as martyrdom but as overflow. You serve not because you're trying to earn your place in the universe, but because you've remembered that you already belong. You serve because your cup overflows with light you didn't create, but were entrusted with. And service doesn't always mean grand gestures. Sometimes it's the way you listen, the way you walk into a room and shift the energy, the way you say no with love, the way you see others, not for who they pretend to be, but for who they really are beneath the masks. Your presence becomes medicine. Your words become catalysts. Your silence becomes sanctuary. This is the quiet revolution of the chosen ones. They don't change the world by force. They change it by being. But to reach this level of embodiment, there is one final gate, the gate of radical self-responsibility. It's easy to talk about transcendence, harder to live it. You will still be triggered. You will still face doubt. You will still encounter people who challenge your peace. But the question is, what story will you tell in those moments? Will you fall back into victimhood, or will you rise into sovereignty? The chosen one takes nothing personally, not because they are numb, but because they understand that every experience is an invitation to mastery. Every challenge is a mirror. Every wound is a portal. And when you stop outsourcing your power, when you stop waiting for permission, for approval, for certainty, you become unstoppable. Not in the egoic sense, but in the sacred, eternal sense. You become a force of remembrance in a world of forgetting. As you walk this path, you may begin to feel a deep sense of peace that doesn't make sense. Even in chaos, you feel grounded. Even in uncertainty, you feel guided. That's not detachment. That's alignment. You've moved from surviving to embodying. You've stopped chasing the light and now you carry it. You've stopped fearing the darkness and now you honor it. You are no longer split, no longer confused. You walk as one who has woven the fragments back into wholeness. And in doing so, you become a lighthouse for others, not by pointing the way, but by embodying the truth that there is a way. So now I ask you, are you ready to stop waiting for the world to change and become the change itself? Are you ready to live your mission not as an idea but as a presence? Are you ready to walk the earth as a soul that remembers? Because if you are, then nothing, and I mean nothing, can stop you. The world may never fully understand you, but it will feel you. And that's enough. Because when a chosen one remembers who they are, the entire universe shifts. You are not here to fit in. You are here to awaken. You are not here to be perfect. You are here to be real. You are not here to escape this world. You are here to transform it by becoming the living bridge between what is and what could be. Now that you've peeled back the illusions, now that you've stared into your own abyss and seen not a monster but a mirror, you know something that many never will. You are not who you were told to be. You are not your thoughts, not your mistakes, not even your dreams. You are the awareness behind it all, the presence that watches, the silence that listens. And from that awareness rises a power that doesn't shout, it resonates. A true chosen one does not demand attention. They don't need to convince or convert. Their energy speaks for them. Their presence shifts reality. They are not interested in being worshipped, they are interested in awakening. And that awakening happens not through effort, but through embodiment. You simply are, and that is enough. But to be in this world while remembering you are not of it, that is the paradox you must dance with every single day. Living as a chosen one is not about superiority. It's about service, not servitude, but sacred. You offer your clarity in a world drowning in confusion. You offer your groundedness in a culture addicted to chaos. You offer your compassion where others offer judgment. And you do it because your soul refuses to be anything less than what it came here to be. You are not sent here to fix everyone, but your energy will activate those who are ready. Your light will disturb those invested in their shadows. Your voice will awaken those who've forgotten their own. And yes, this will cost you. You'll be misunderstood. You'll lose people. You'll be called too much, too intense, too different. But you'll also be free. And in that freedom, you'll find peace that no approval can buy. You become a portal between realms, not because you're trying, but because you've dissolved the walls within yourself. You become a bridge between the physical and the unseen, between the sacred and the mundane. You might still do ordinary things, drink coffee, laugh with friends, work a job, but the way you do them is different. You bring presence. You bring depth, you bring consciousness to every moment, and people will feel it even if they can't articulate it. Some will be magnetized, some will be triggered. That's not your job to manage. Your job is to stay true, to stay aligned, to keep listening. You are no longer here to conform. You are not here to shrink. You are here to be the living proof that divinity can walk in human form, that the infinite can breathe through the finite and awaken the world as it does. And yet, even as you rise, you'll still face moments of doubt. There will still be nights where the old wounds whisper again. That's okay. Being chosen doesn't mean being invulnerable. It means being real. It means having the courage to keep showing up even when your faith shakes. It means choosing alignment, not perfection. It means falling down and getting up thousands of times, not because you never fall, but because something deep inside you refuses to stay down. That something is your essence, your eternal flame. And every time you rise, you send a signal to others in the midst of their own darkness. You can rise too. That ripple is more powerful than any sermon. That frequency is more healing than any doctrine. That choice to rise again and again is what makes you truly chosen. So now the question is no longer, am I a chosen one? You already know the answer. The question is, what will you do with that knowing? Will you dim your light to make others comfortable? Or will you blaze so fully that it reminds others of their own fire? Will you apologize for your depth? Or will you dive deeper and bring back treasures for the world? Will you wait for permission? Or will you declare your own readiness? The time for hiding is over. The time for shrinking is gone. You are not here to blend in. You are here to transcend. And when you do, when you live as the bridge between light and darkness, heaven and earth, spirit and form, you don't just change your life, you change reality. You are not just part of the shift. You are the shift. Now go. Walk as the flame you are. The world remembers itself through you. There is something sacred about walking this earth as one who remembers. It's not about having all the answers. It's about being the answer. Not because you're perfect, but because you're willing to hold space for truth in a world built on illusion. You've likely realized by now that no external system can fully contain what you are. You don't follow a single path, you are the path. You don't recite the words, you embody the frequency. And in that embodiment, you become a mirror for others. Not a mirror of their masks, but of their essence. You awaken them not by telling them who they are, but by being so deeply yourself that they remember who they've always been. This is the quiet revolution of the soul. It doesn't shout. It doesn't demand. It simply is. And in its being, it transforms everything it touches. You will continue to walk between worlds, between the human and the divine, the visible and the invisible. You will feel things others deny, sense things others can't explain, and carry wisdom that seems to come from nowhere. But you'll know it's not from nowhere. It's from within. From the ancient river of remembrance that flows through your soul. You'll have moments where you feel the ache of the collective, the grief of ancestors, the hope of unborn generations. And in those moments, your mission will clarify itself not as a task, but as a presence. You are not here to be a savior. You are here to be a frequency holder, a transmitter of light, a keeper of shadow, a guardian of balance. And every time you choose presence over reaction, stillness over chaos, truth over comfort, you fulfill a prophecy written in your bones. You may never be recognized for what you truly are. The world often overlooks its quietest healers, its most powerful frequency carriers. But the universe sees you, the earth feels you, the cosmos moves with you. You are part of a network of souls scattered across the globe, each holding a thread of the great tapestry of awakening. Some of you are visible speakers, teachers, artists. Some are silent parents, hermits, healers in disguise, but all of you are essential. All of you are woven into this shift. You don't need a platform. You don't need a title. You just need to stay awake. Stay devoted. Stay anchored in your truth. Because every act of love, every moment of presence, every breath offered with intention ripples out farther than you can imagine. You are not small. You are not alone. So now the final veil lifts, and what remains is you, unmasked, unbound, unafraid. Not because fear has disappeared, but because you've made peace with it. You've integrated your shadow, honored your light, and now walk as both. You are the flame that endures, the soul that remembers, the presence that awakens. You were picked but because you chose to awaken when the world begged you to sleep. You chose truth when illusion was easier. You chose love when numbness was safer. You chose to feel, to heal, to rise. And now you walk not just as a human being, but as a living temple, a portal of remembrance, a bridge between worlds. This is your mission. This is your gift. This is your time. The prophecy is not coming. You are the prophecy, and it has begun.